Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is JS Designs. My name is Joshua Sebany, and this is my first podcast ever. So bear with me how this is gonna go. But I'm a graphic designer, and I specialize in branding. And it's not just brand identity. A lot of people think, oh, you design, brand identity is branding, but it's really not. And we're gonna talk about, why branding is so important for businesses and kind of how to brand and how to figure out what your core values are and your belief systems, because that's super important, especially nowadays. It's super important for a business to know exactly who they're going to market to and who they're going to who's going to buy their services and who's going to buy their products. So we're really going to spend some time in talking about, different ways for businesses to find that. And this comes with design and it comes with business practices, which I'm still really learning business practices. It's one of those things that is always on my mind, and I'm constantly trying to learn from people that know business really well, watching TED Talks and watching all that kind of stuff. But what I really, really want to talk about is branding. And branding is super important for any business, even small businesses. But a lot of small businesses don't care about, growing. And so startups and stuff, a lot of these startups want to grow into these big companies. But some of these startups aren't very good at finding out their true message. There's a lot of startups that I've talked to at least, end up saying that they don't really market just to a core audience. They market to everybody. And I think this is a really dumb, I don't want to say dumb, but it's kind of not the smartest way to go about, building a business and building something that, people can connect to, because essentially that's what your branding is. It's almost like a celebrity. A celebrity is a brand. They share the same core values as their audience. So when you think about building a business, I always kind of think about building a brand, building something that will connect with those type of audiences. And I know I've kind of said that enough, but I'm really trying to tell you how important it is for you to really think about who you're going to sell your products to. As a graphic designer, I specialize in branding, so I really want to work with startups is who I want to work for, either designing their not their websites. I'm not a web designer, but I can find somebody that can design you a really great website. I focus more on the brand identity and trying to figure out, if you don't know already, how to find your audience and how to do all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about what branding isn't. Branding isn't just oh, I have a core message and that's it. It's not I have one value or two values and that's it. It's more of a belief system. And when I say belief system, you have these old companies. The old companies brand differently than the new companies coming out, the millennial kind of companies. The difference is these old companies, they had kind of, back then you had beliefs of religion. You had beliefs of, and I know it sounds kind of stupid, but it's so true that back then, you could connect with people on your religious beliefs. You could connect with people on a smaller level. But nowadays, people care about your business as like what you bring to the table. Who do you help? Are you helping, designers? Are you helping, look at Apple, they're all about experience, they're all about user experience. So that's what they really focus on. And anybody that, buys Apple products feel the same way. And they really built a really great belief system on that. And you look at Nike and like that big iconic brand and stuff like that that started from, $1,000 in their pocket to now the biggest, brand in the world, especially sports brand. But Nike is one of those brands that really did it right. They really built a great belief system and really showed that, we can market to everybody, but first let's market to the athletes and the people that are really sports fans. That's the idea. But and then as they grew, not only do sports people wear Nikes, I saw an old man on the street walking down the street wearing a Nike shoe. So it's, he's not playing any sports, but he's still using the Nike brand. And that's kind of interesting. You can start your company. It seems like, you have that core audience that you're going for, but then as your company grows, who knows? It may appeal to a greater population, but you're still, focusing on that core audience. And I think that's super important when building a brand and building a company and building something that people really can trust into. It's a lot easier to market to one, Pacific client or one specific audience than market to everybody. Plus the expense with that, when you market to everybody, your expense of marketing is going to be way, way high because you don't know who you're marketing to. You're marketing to everybody, so you may pick people there, you don't really know. And that's kind of a gamble when you're doing those type of things. So I would say if you're starting sports business or you're starting like any type of business, you really need to market to the people that are going to help you grow and that have the same belief systems as you. Just like me as a graphic designer, like I said, I do branding, so I really want to help these startups grow a profitable business. I want to help these businesses figure out the best way to get their graphic material, and sometimes it's not even graphic material. Sometimes, a lot of times, marketing and advertising and print and billboards isn't the way to go. Most times it's digital. Maybe it's word of mouth, maybe it's type of guerrilla marketing stuff, and we can actually talk about that maybe in a later date, but we're just really focusing on really what branding is to me, and branding is the life and blood of any company. It's what drives your sales. I really, really, really truly believe that, and it's a very important thing to get right in the beginning. So really, if you're a company, a startup, or person, entrepreneur listening to this, and you really want to start something, you really need to go and write down all your belief systems and everything that who you're going to market to and why you're going to market to those people. You need to have a really solid business plan. Otherwise, you're going to be marketing to the wrong people. And that's really going to be frustrating. I think it's easier to build the business if you're marketing to just a small amount of people. Now let's go back to the celebrities. And this is a really interesting thing for me because celebrity endorsement seems like that's what a lot of companies try to do. Yes, celebrity endorsement is probably can be a good idea, but then can be a bad idea. You're really slapping your brand, quote unquote, to a different brand, So you don't have control of that brand. You don't have control of what that celebrity does. You don't have control of what any of that does. So in a way, you're taking your brand and putting it in the celebrity's hands, putting it into that, iconic symbol's hands. So it's really not a smart idea. What happens if that celebrity does something horribly wrong or bad that's going to project onto your company? So I don't understand a lot of these companies, and a lot of companies do this. They get celebrity endorsements. Yes, that's going to improve some sales, because celebrities have thousands or millions of fans, but eventually maybe it won't ever go bad, and maybe you're doing something great. But I mean, Nike does it pretty well. Their first celebrity endorsement really was Michael Jordan. and Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan didn't become the huge famous basketball star, or like if Michael Jordan was an okay basketball player, Nike may not be what it is today. So in that celebrity endorsement, they picked the right idea. And what they actually did though was really interesting. The co-founders, I can't remember their names, but anyway, I mean, I can look it up. I'm by a computer. Here, just a second. The co-founder of Nike, just so we can. Co-founder Nike. Okay, so the co-founder of Nike was Bill Bowerman and Phil Knight. And they started their company with very little. I think they both had a $500 or something like that. So they had like $1,000 between the two. But anyway, so they didn't have a lot of time or money to market. And they really just used that money to make a shoe. And they took that shoe and slapped it onto athletes. And I think that's, using your athletes as a billboard. And I think that's a really kind of cool idea. And it really, I think helped them grow, especially slapping it onto a person like Michael Jordan. In this way of celebrity endorsement, I think it works. But when you take like a celebrity of like a Paris Hilton or something like that, there's always going to be something that could possibly go wrong. And I believe that, slapping a celebrity endorsement is sometimes can be a good idea, maybe in the sports area, but in other areas, it may not be such a great idea. So when branding, especially when you're starting to first build your brand, I really don't think you should think about celebrity endorsements. I mean, I don't really think you should really think about that at all. If you need a celebrity to sell your products, then you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. But again, I'm a graphic designer, so I'm just talking about what I feel as a designer and what I feel as a business owner, as things that, startup companies could actually do better, or people that are thinking about doing companies. And I think one thing is, that belief system is huge. Who are you? Why do I care about you? And what are you going to do for me or help me with? And that's the thing. I mean, giving back to the community and really, setting the bar, to really show people that you care about the customers. You care about not even the customers. You kind of develop these relationships, and these really, you connect with them on such a level that they completely feel like you understand them. Almost like a music artist, people I listen to so and so because they make me feel this way, and I listen to so and so because they make me feel this way. And I feel like, I can tell this from music and bands and stuff like that I grew up with. And I can say, I grew up in like the punk Chicago rock scene, so the pop punk scene rather, so like the Fall Out Boys and the Blink-182s and the Green Days and all that kind of stuff. And I really had a belief system of what they believed in, and that's what gravitated toward me. I still listen to that to this day, and it just brings back all these memories. Almost feel like they were friends that I grew up with. And that's what you really want your business to be, is you want your business to be a friend of your target audience. You want them to whenever they need a product or need this service, we're thinking of you because you understand me. You feel like I feel like I know you on a personal level, and it builds rapport. And rapport is super, 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 super important. At least, I think rapport is super important for a graphic design business like myself. I mean, people really want to see that they're working with somebody that they can trust and that they know that's going to give the results that they want and is easy to work with. So in that way, I feel, all that stuff is branding. Everything. It's really that relationship that you have with your client or you have with your audience member and all that kind of stuff. And it's not only just, startups and small businesses and entrepreneur kind of relationships. I see this in the film industry so much. I actually came from the film industry. If you don't know much about me, which you probably don't, because I'm kind of a newbie in the whole area of this. So, and I have a lot of different maybe ideas than a lot of the older people in the generation, the people that I follow as designers or entrepreneurs. But I started out in acting, and started out in the theater and doing all that kind of stuff, and then I gravitated towards film. Went to film school in Chicago, and then thought I would be a film director and make all these awesome movies and all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of got tired of it and bored of it. I've got a personality that kind of gets bored of things really easily, just because I've got like an attention problem. And then graphic design actually is a good thing for me to do, because I hyper focus on that specific project, and then once that specific project's done and the client loves it and like, oh man, and gives me great reviews and stuff like that, then that project is over and I don't have to worry about it anymore. So it's really a great career if you are listening to this and thinking about a graphic design career, and you are have a short attention span like myself, like ADD and that kind of stuff. And it is a real disorder. I really believe that. It's not anything made up in your head. It's just the way we think. And we multitask a lot better than people that don't think that way. But we get bored easier. So we need to always start learning things new, and always trying to figure out different things. And we get to that point. But anyway, I wanted to talk about kind of who I am and where I came from. So I came from the entertainment film industry, and then slapped on graphic design with that, which I'm glad I did, because I really enjoy graphic design, and I really, really, really enjoy helping brands become iconic brands and build a company that they can be proud of, through either design or just through ideas of talking to these people and trying to throw out different ways to get their new clients, or keeping their old clients and stuff, and keeping their old audience. But anyway, you see a lot of for film, I really do see a lot of missed opportunities for branding. A lot of filmmakers, they make their film and they don't brand, and I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense. Every film that they shoot should be a different brand. It should be a different way to market to. And where you really see this, I see this a lot because I actually worked in this industry, and I've actually talked to people about this, is the horror industry. And I know I say it kind of weird, but maybe it's a Chicago accent, but if I say horror, I think I'm saying WHORE, so it sounds really weird. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, like, filmmakers really should learn how to brand, and they should really, really think about, still a belief system and an audience base, which some do. The horror genre does that, but there's so many missed opportunities where they could guerrilla market, or, make those cool t-shirts and stuff like that. Because just like I think the horror industry is easier to, get people involved, and than any of the other genres in film. Maybe comedy, but not really. Horror, you have a really, really loyal fan base when you work with horror film. Horror films really have, you can have a really bad, scary movie and people still go see it because, there could be an idea of it being good. And even if it isn't good, it may, have a cult following still, just for being, bad. Look at all the trauma films, and he really made an empire of, comedic, scary, hard, horrific, gory movies. And you can either say they're good, or you can even say they're bad, but they've got a huge cult following, and their brand is spot on. So we really need to learn from trauma. I think they really do brand pretty well for themselves. But anyway, I think more or less the horror genre, you make a horror film, you really need to, make t-shirts, or you need to brand yourself, and you really need to show that you're out there, almost as like a musician. The metal population of, like, the metal genre of music, those are like probably one of the most loyal fan base you would have in music. And you could maybe argue that, but I really think metal fans are probably the most loyal fans than you'll ever have. Just because, I think it's just because it's such a tight knit audience that you really feel like the singer songwriter, are really, and the filmmakers are really, really, are really speaking to you. And that, I think metal and horror goes really well together. So there's maybe a way to mix all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm not gonna keep it too long. It's too long as it as it is. It's almost 20 minutes of a talk. But anyway, if you want to talk about more about branding, and you have ideas, or you're an entrepreneur trying to figure out your belief systems, or you just really need to talk to somebody and throw ideas around, I'm here. I'm on social media. You can go and contact me at Joshua, Joshua Sebeny, SEBENY.com, and you can go to the contacts and email me, and all that kind of stuff, and maybe we started a discussion down below, because this is going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be on my YouTube channel. That I'm trying to make these podcasts maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, but I'm really trying for once a week, 20-minute, 30-minute episodes kind of thing, talking about design, talking about business, and talking about the things that I've been learning, and just trying to figure out how to help people, because that's the idea that I'm trying to really show and really trying to do. And for these podcasts and stuff, is really trying to help you guys. So whatever you need help with, and I'm here for you, and I would really love to talk to you. So thank you very much for listening to the first podcast of JS Design, and please check out the website. If you have a friend that needs help with brand identity or any design things, either product design for DVD covers or whatever, or apparel, just give me a shout out. I'm more than willing to help, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you very much, and have a great day.